So first of all, welcome. Thank you for coming. Just look down at your feet as we stand here and remember the last lesson when we traced up the center. So the second toe is basically, the second toes are parallel, and you could draw a line here through the knees and your legs come up here. And then take a moment to stand. So in today's lesson, we're going to look at the shoulders and the neck with different exercises and some fluid movement, but we'll start with very small little exercises which have a lot of effect. So just as you stand here, maybe with your eyes closed, move your head from one side to the other. Notice your range of movement. And then chin in the center. And just notice how your body feels, how it's connected to the earth. See if you can find a triangle in your feet, the 2 points, the ball of your feet, outside, inside, and the heel is like the tip of the triangle. Notice how you stand. So nature always shows us on the outside what we need to look after on the inside. So now as we move into autumn, the winds start to come to blow the leaves off the trees. And that wind energy can also bring us into maybe a state of inner confusion, of inner tension. Okay, so it's good to prepare our bodies for that and to release any tension that's there. Okay, and then from here we're going to come down to lie on our backs. I suggest you come down in a squat. Okay, super. And we're going to start by lying on our backs. Just spread your legs long, your arms long. Just take a moment to sense your body lying on the earth. Because our bodies are such an incredible structure, and they also pattern nature, so the whole body always works together. And sometimes when we have tension, the muscles in our body become numb. We don't even notice them. And we then move from a place of tension. See where you're touching the earth. Acknowledge to yourself that you're taking time for yourself, so you can be grateful. Dankbarkeit, dass du diese Zeit für dich nimmst. And then take your right hand and bring your right hand over to the left shoulder. Okay, so your elbow will be sort of on your body, and just sort of feel the shoulder. Feel where the shoulder attaches to the torso. Ne, dort wo die Schulter mit dem Oberkörper sich begegnet. Okay, and then maybe trace along your clavicle, the Schlüsselbein, right to the center. Okay, you might want to bring your hand to the top of the shoulder and then see where it moves back. So your shoulder blade and the clavicle in the front are connected. So there's a connection, bony connection. So abtasten, spüren. And then the same right hand, bring it as far as you can over to the left. So maybe on the left shoulder, and maybe you can touch the ground. Keep your elbow bent. Okay, Ellbogen bleibt gebeugt. And just stay there. Rest your elbow. Ellbogen ganz entspannt. Die Fingerspitzen berühren die Erde links. So there's no movement here at all now. Just a sense. Now I invite you to move your head to the left. Maybe just first your eyes, look to the left, and then move your head to the left. And then come back to center, and then move your head to the left. Head with eyes, so your eyes can be wide open, and look over to the left. And come back again. Very gentle movements here. So exploring the connections in the body. It will also affect our mind, our state of being. We like our body to move as efficiently and effectively as possible, and from a very relaxed state. And then come back, release your right arm down. Okay, just notice now the right side. You might have to move to feel a bit comfortable, but something has already happened. And then place your right foot on the ground. Bring your right arm over to the left shoulder. And then just push into your right foot and let your body move, just roll over to the left. So you're rolling your pelvis to the left, and the shoulders sort of going to follow, and the left hand will touch the ground. So it's a rolling, a sort of quite a lazy movement, pushing into the ground and rolling over. So no effort, so it can be very small movement. And as you push into the foot, just notice possibly the whole of your spine up to your head. So there's a connection here between foot and knee, spine, neck, and head. Same time we're opening the rib cage. So really just rolling over. And see if you can do this with as little effort as possible. One more time. And then release. Release the leg down, release the arm down. Take a moment to sense right side and left. We're constantly in a dance of polarities, sun and moon, day and night, right and left, the yin and the yang. It's interesting to observe this. This is how we perceive of the world as well. And then we'll do the other side. So bring your left hand over to the right shoulder. And then just sort of explore the shoulder, where the shoulder attaches to the upper body, along the clavicule, Schlüsselbein, and then back to the shoulder blade, Schulterblatt. Just sort of explore here. You may want to push with your fingertips into the muscles. Might be some that feel tense or some that you haven't touched in a long time. And then just place your left hand onto the right shoulder, and maybe you might even touch the ground with your left fingers and then release the elbow down. So you'll probably notice there's a difference between the right and the left shoulder. Maybe not. And then you can move your head over to the right and back to the center, eyes open. And your hand stays on the shoulder or touching the ground, fingertips touching the ground. And then release. Place your left foot on the ground. We're going to do the same as we did on the other side. So we're going to push into the foot and let the body roll over. And notice how the head is going to follow. So there's a connection between head and foot as we explored in our last lesson as well. So you're pushing over and you're rolling back. So don't go too far, but just observe what parts of the body are used in this movement. Two more times. And then release. Release your arm, your leg. Notice your body on the ground. And then one last movement like this. We're going to place the right foot up again. Left arm crosses. Right arm crosses towards the left. And this time the left hand is going to grasp the right side of the ribs. Also linke Hand auf den rechten Rippen. And then we push into the foot and we let the whole body roll. And the left hand is going to help the right ribs roll. The right side of the rib cage. Die linke Hand unterstützt das Rollen der rechten Seite. So you keep the top arm loose and then notice your head is probably going to want to move as well. Just let the body roll. Just by pushing into the foot, the body rolls. Your rib cage becomes elastic, so there's space between the ribs. And nothing really you have to do except to follow the dynamics of the push into the foot. And then release. Release your leg, your arm. You'll probably notice your body's becoming longer and longer. And at the same time, we're releasing tension in the neck and shoulders. And then we'll do the other side, left foot on the ground, right arm grasps the left ribs, left arm goes over to the right. And then push into the left foot and let the rest of the body follow, and your right hand supports the left ribs. It's quite a lazy movement. You might feel the ground beneath you. If you're just on the mat, it could be a little bit hard, but sort of massaging the body at the same time. And keep the movement loose. Let your head follow the movement as it wishes to, so there's no holding on. And then release, both arms outstretched, both legs outstretched. And now we're going to lift the head. So just lift the head and look up between your legs and come back again. And look up and come back again. This is also, you'll notice straight away, it's going to affect your core. Lift the head and back again. And lift the head and back again. And then release completely. Roll onto your left side. Place the blanket beneath your head so that it feels comfortable. Okay, so your head is resting comfortably on the blanket. You might have to turn it, roll it over. Your knees are 90 degrees on top of each other. Your hips are on top of each other. Your shoulders are on top of each other. Super. And then from here, you just leave the arms where they are. You can bend one arm if it feels comfortable. We're going to lift the head up and then release it down. So this is creating up and down. So we did this in the core exercises, so it affects the core, as we know. But at the same time, it creates healthy tension. Sometimes muscles are too loose in the neck. And then release. And then bring your right hand over the head and grasp the left ear. And then here we're going to allow the hand to pull the head off the ground. So it's not the head that moves by itself, but it's the hand pulling the head. And down again. You might even notice this movement in the hips. And then release. You can turn onto your back for a moment. You can keep your head up on the blanket. Giving your body a little bit of time to integrate the movement. And then we'll roll over to the other side. So you'll be lying on your right hand side, your knees out in front of you, your head on the blanket, feels comfortable. And then we'll just start lifting the head. You might want to observe, what does the shoulder do when I lift the head? It probably moves away. Interesting. One more time. And then release. And then bring the left hand up over the head to grasp the right ear. And then here, just let the head fall into the hand. And allow the hand to lift up the head. And then release completely, lie on your backs. Legs outstretched, arms outstretched. And observe. And now lying on your back, you're going to cross the right leg over the left, right leg over the left. Bring your knees in towards you. And then with the left hand, catch the right foot. With the right hand, catch the left foot. And then release the head down. If this is not possible, you can take one foot. If the left foot seems very far away, take a strap or whatever you may have there and just take the foot with the strap. Okay, so you're holding onto your feet. Your head is relaxed, the neck is relaxed. You'll probably feel the outside of your hips. You can bring your knees more towards you. You can draw your feet further apart. And stay here, observing the inhale and the exhale. The inhale creates space. And the exhale lengthens you into the movement, into the pose. Super. And then release. And we're going to go straight to the other side. So stretch your legs up towards the sky. And then cross the other leg over. So left leg over the right. And see if you can grasp your feet. So you might have to come up first to see them, but once you have your feet, you release down. Notice what it feels like if your knees are further away or if you bring them closer to your chest. And then take a moment to become aware of what's happening here in the hip socket. So the hip sockets are like wheels round. And as we saw, they also connect to shoulders and neck. And the inhale to create space and the exhale to lengthen. The inhale is always also saying a yes to life, yes to the next breath, full of anticipation, and the exhale is symbolic for surrendering to what is, just being with what is. We don't know. Fantastic. And then uncross your legs, stretch your feet up towards the sky, and then stretch your heels towards the sky, opening the backs of your legs. And then from here, with a little bit of dynamism, roll your legs back a little bit, and then come up to a seated position. Okay, fantastic. And then from here, we're going to go onto all fours. With our newly opened neck, so you might want to move your neck and just notice, wow, the range of movement has changed. Ich beobachte, wie dein Nacken sich jetzt ganz anders anfühlt. Your knees underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders. So we go into our bodily architecture. And then from here, remember we had a long, tall hat on the head the last time. So the head reaches forward, the tailbone reaches back. And then allow your head to move over to the left and let the body follow. The body will move to the right, the rest of the body. And then head over to the right, body will move to the left. So just swing from one side to the other, as if your spine, instead of undulating, is up and down, is just moving, swaying from one side to the other. So the tailbone, notice how it snakes. So the spine automatically snakes. Super. And then release. Bring your toes into the ground and move back into downward facing dog. So very gently, keeping your knees slightly bent, your arms long, the back of your neck long, your shoulders wide and away from your ears. So something might have changed for this posture. We didn't do a downward dog beforehand, but you might notice there's more freedom around neck and shoulders. And then bring your eyes forward, lift your left leg up towards the sky. On the exhale, left foot forward, right foot 45 degrees. So as if you have a big step here, the right foot is on the ground. Bend your left knee and then come up here to standing. Okay, so it's the warrior two pose, warrior one. So you have the sense that your pelvis is forward. Move your your left foot just a little bit more to the outside of the mat. Super. Okay, and this exercise I love because it really creates, or it allows us to experience this space. So your right hand is on the sacrum. Your left hand is like a mirror. You look into the mirror of your left hand, and then you follow your left hand in a free movement. So your legs are strong. You might want to stretch the front leg occasionally, and you follow and observe all the possibility of movement here. Okay, so your neck is free, your shoulders are free. See how far you can twist, how high you can come, how low. And your hands are, or your eyes don't leave the left hand. Strong legs holding you, and the upper body is completely free. Beautiful. And then release. Bring both arms up towards the sky, eyes come up. And then on the exhale, fingertips to the ground, front leg goes back. We're in a plank position. From here, we bring the knees to the ground, sit back into child's pose. From child's pose, come up onto all fours, and then back to downward facing dog. The right leg lifts, eyes come forward. On the exhale, right foot forward, left foot 45 degrees. Walk the right foot out to the edge of the mat a little bit, and then bring both arms up towards the sky. Okay, so we're on the other side, beautiful. And then left hand to the sacrum, right hand in front of you. And you look into the mirror of your hand as you explore all the movement possible here. The sides moving now the neck and the shoulders, but also allowing the body to find equilibrium, balance, as we move up and down. The range of movement here should be quite large now after the preparatory exercises. And then release the arm down. Bring both arms up towards the sky, look up. And on the exhale, hands to the earth. Front leg goes back. We'll stay in plank. You always have the option here to bring your knees down. But let's just try to see if the core that we activated last week is still here. So pushing back through the heels, lengthening through the shoulders and through the neck and through the tip of the head. So we don't want to bring tension back where we've just released it. So long neck and then knees to the ground. Sit back into child's pose. From here, come up onto all fours and move back into downward facing dog. On the next inhale, left leg reaches up, eyes move forward. On the exhale, left foot forward. And right foot now will be 90 degrees. So we come up into the warrior two stance. So arms come forward and then we open up towards the side. Super. And now remember the shoulders are released and relaxed. And your head can look forward and also back very easily. So there's more range of movement in the neck. So look forward and then look back. Beautiful. Look forward and then look back. And then from here, we're going to turn the feet parallel, bring the arms towards you. Super. Take your block, if you have it handy, yes. We're going to come into a forward fold and put our head on the block. Now remember, it has different heights, so it can be like this, or like this. So bending forward, keep your legs straight and place your head, your forehead down on the block. And then see if you can bring your arms through the legs, palms facing up, arms behind you. So we release. Find a good place for your head to be. It can be curled. You can curl your neck. As long as you release your shoulders down here. Notice your breath. Always creating space, discovering new places. And then gently coming back up. You can use your hands to help you. You can slightly bend your knees and then come up again into standing. So when we come from up to down, we can always keep the knees slightly bent if you're a bit worried about your lower back. And then we're going to turn the other foot out. So turn the right foot out. You'll be facing away from me. And then again, the arms out to the side. You look over your front hand and then over the back. Just notice the wonderful range of movement you have here in your neck now. Front and the back. Shoulders are down and away. The shoulder blades are relaxed on your back. Just keep moving your head with your eyes forward and back. Beautiful. And then coming to center, feet parallel to one another. If you wish, bend your knees as you're going down and then we straighten them. Come down, head onto the block. If you want, bring your hands behind you, palms facing up, so you allow the whole body to release down. Deep breaths. Shoulders are heavy. Allow for more and more space to be created. Super. And then gently coming back, you can bend your knees, turn to the front of your mat again. Bring both hands to the ground and the front leg goes back into plank. Shoulders move away, neck is strong, crown of the head reaches forward. Sometimes it's nice to repeat positions because they become lighter each time. And then knees down to the ground, sit back into child's pose, and then come forward onto all fours, and then allow the whole body to reach down to the ground. So vertebra by vertebra, legs are long. Remember last class when we had pendulum legs. Hands stay underneath your shoulders. And then on the next inhale, come into a very gentle cobra, what feels good for you. You can keep your chin down until the head is ready to lift. And the head lifts, as we just discovered, from the hips. And then come down again. If you want, you can repeat another 2 times. So coming up on the inhale, shoulders away from the ears, long legs. And moving down on the exhale. And then from here up onto all fours. And we'll go straight into child's pose. From child's pose back onto all fours. And then exhaling into downward facing dog. And from here, right leg rises, eyes between your hands. On the exhale, right foot forward in between your hands. Place your left foot 90 degrees. And then open up here into warrior 2 again. Super. Take your block
Sweet, cool summer breeze.
with your right hand. Okay, super. Block with the right hand. Just check the left hand is okay. Bring the left hand then to your left hip, to the left side of the pelvis. Keeping your front knee bent, place the block to the inside of the right foot. Lengthen the right foot if this is possible. Bring your left hand underneath the ribs. Remember the exercise we did on the ground. And then rotate the upper body towards the side. And then lift your left arm up.
Fear is really courage becoming known.
Okay, and then look at your arm. See if your arm is straight. See if you have the sacred geometry. The block is on the inside of the right foot and we're opening up towards the left. Beautiful.
Outside of me.
And then
Beyond me.
coming back,
From within me.
we turn both feet towards the side of the mat. They're parallel. Bring the block in front of you. Have your left hand on the block. And then open the right arm up towards the right.
How she moves me.
And then allow it to come down again and towards the left. Up towards the right. And then back down towards the left. One more time, towards the right and back down towards the left. And now we're going to move to the other side. So you're going to move away from me, the left foot forward. We're in warrior pose again. You can keep the block in the left hand now. Super. And then from here, straighten the left leg, bring the block to the inside, and we open into Trikonasana. So triangle. And you can use the right arm to open up the right side of the rib cage, lengthen up. And you don't have to look at your hand, you can keep your eyes forward. No tension at all in the neck. The arm is long and strong, fingertips reaching up. Super. And then gently bend both knees. Feet are going to come parallel to one another to the side. The right hand onto your block. Block, if you wish, in the highest position. And then we're going to open the left arm towards the left and then bring it down again and let it swing towards the right. Very gentle movements. Your head is going to follow the movement naturally. As we noticed when we were lying on the ground as well, the head wants to move with the arm. Time. And then release. Turn towards the front of the mat again. Both hands underneath your shoulders and right leg moves back and we're in plank. Keeping the head long, the heels long, shoulders relaxed, neck relaxed. And then knees to the ground and sit back into child's pose. Bring your forehead to the ground. And allow your breath now to fill the empty spaces on the back of your body. And then from here, come up onto all fours. If you have your blanket or your block close to you, keep it close. We're going to cross the right leg over the left. Rechtes Bein über das linke. Feet come out to the side, Füße nach außen. So it's the same posture we did lying on our backs. And then take your block if you wish, if you need it, and then sit back in between your feet. So you have one knee over the other and your feet are out to the side. And you're sitting up on your block if that's easier. Be mindful of your knees. If one knee hurts, then just outstretch the leg. Keep the leg stretched out. If you can touch your feet, touch the arc of your feet, the arch. Relax your shoulders down and sense the outside of your legs. If you wanted, you could move the upper body forward and come into a forward fold. This is not always accessible. You can also just stay seated with your spine upright. And then twist over to the right. So left hand to the right knee, which is on top. And then twist over to the right and look over your right shoulder. Come back to center. Move back onto all fours. Uncross your legs. And sit back into child's pose. Allow your forehead to reach down. Allowing the whole body to relax. And then gently coming back up, and we'll do the other side. So left knee crosses over the right. Feet come out to the side as far as this is possible. And then sit down in between your feet. There should be one foot out on either side. Okay, remember, you can always sit up. It's much easier if you sit up on something. Okay, don't worry if one leg is outstretched or if you feel your knees are up at your chin. It doesn't matter. And then hold on to your feet on either side. Beautiful. And close your eyes. So since time immemorial, there's been a certain reverence for our breath. Breath as the breath of life. And in a beautiful translation of the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, an old text, reinterpreted, retranslated by Lauren Roche, they say, shining one, so shining one meaning you and I. Breathing out, let go, and fall into knowing of all creation as existing within space. And you are absorbed in that vibrant, empty fullness. In this moment, your body is intimate with space, exchanging essence for essence. Balancing in the midst of vast emptiness, no utter freedom. And then turning to the left, allowing each exhale to give you a sensation of freedom. Freedom in the lengthening on the physical plane, freedom in the knowing that you can trust that the next moment will unfold perfectly. And then gently coming back to center, we'll move back, uncross the legs. Okay, now we'll stay in a seated position. Both legs out in front of you. You could take your block or your blanket, and we're going to come into a forward fold. And again, you can rest your forehead on the block or on the blanket. Allow your arms to relax by your side, your shoulders again to relax, the neck. Breathing out, let go and fall into knowing all of creation as existing within space. And you are absorbed in that vibrant, empty fullness. In this moment, your body is intimate with space, exchanging essence for essence. Then in your own time, come back into a seated position. Take a moment in Dandasana. It's always beautiful to experience the effects of the asana, to savor the fruit. And then we'll come back into Shavasana, so into the final relaxation. Maybe take your blanket and cover yourself. And before you let go completely, allow your head to roll easily from one side to the other. And then find stillness. Close your eyes. And allow your whole body to release down into the ground. So every exhale is allowing you to go into space. Everything exists within this space, within this emptiness, which is fullness at the same time. Your shoulders broad, your neck wide, your head heavy. Your ribs expand and come together. Your belly follows the waves of breath. The essence that you are exchanging with the essence around you. Your legs are long and heavy, your feet. And the whole of the spine, from the crown of the head to the tailbone, and from the tailbone back up to the crown of the head. Knowing that you're safe and held by the earth beneath. Very gently start deepening your breath. Sensing your body lying on the ground. Start moving your toes and your fingers. If you feel really tired, of course, you're welcome to stay here. You don't have to sit up. You can stay lying down. So feel free to do what feels best to you. If you'd like to come up to sitting, then stretch your body out, yawn. Take your time to find then a comfortable sitting posture. So whatever feels good to you, stay lying or come up to sitting. And if you're sitting, we'll take Dhyana Mudra, palms facing up, hands in or within each other, thumbs touching. Savor the fruits of your practice. Marveling and remembering to be curious towards what is this life that we affirm with every inhale. It's yes. It's mystery that we are part of every single moment. Sensing the calm within your heart. You might want to move your head and just notice how well your head moves, how loose your neck seems. So you're able to move the head in all directions. You're very welcome to stay seated here. I'd like to thank you all so much for coming. It's always a great pleasure to see you. I wish you a wonderful evening and very restorative and beautiful sleep. Thank you so much.